Welcome everyone to C.HR with Ariaunstewart. Today we have Malerie Rosario here with Glam Studio by Malerie.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and being our guest. So could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your studio?
Yes. So my name is Malerie. I'm 27, Latina woman. Just started my business, the Glam Studio by Malerie. We're located in Chicopee. I've been into the beauty since I was young, but taking clients for like the last 6-7 years, and then just finally was able to open up my own studio, so I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So can you tell us like how you started? Did you always know you wanted to be in this industry? Like, what did you go to school for?
So I actually started in high school. I went to Putnam. I'm from Springfield. I lived here my whole life, so I went to Putnam and I did cosmetology. I started doing hair, but after doing it for 4 years, I wasn't in love with it anymore. Then I really got into makeup about my junior year, and makeup really wasn't a thing. Cosmetology was like strictly hair, so we really didn't learn too much about it. But I started watching YouTube videos and just practicing on myself, and then from there people were asking me to do their makeup, and I was like, oh,
Right.
you know,
that validation.
Yeah, I was like, me? Like, and how much? And I'm like, how much? Like, I don't know. You know, so yeah, I just been loving it for so long, and now I got the opportunity recently, and here we are.
Because you were doing it on your own for a while and built up to having a space, right?
Yes, so I actually worked, like when I started taking clients, I did it from like living with my parents in my bedroom, you know?
Right, yeah.
And then I moved to my own space and my own home, so I had my own room and in my home, and like that was a big step from going from my bedroom to like my own room. I was like, oh my god, okay, cool.
Right.
And then once I got the space, I'm like, wow, I went from my house to like having a space that I have to get up and go to work. Well, it's not work for me, but you know.
Right, you're the owner of the business. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy, so before that you were working full time, right?
Yeah, so I graduated college from Westfield State, got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and was in, it's called ABA therapy, but I worked with kids with autism, so I did that for 4 years, and I also worked at Sephora for a year in between that time, like a part-time job. Yep. Because I love doing makeup too.
Right, perfect
So,
place to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then from there, just transition. I was like, you know what, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I only wanted to, you know, strictly, like, do makeup, do beauty, and thank God I was able to do it.
Yeah. So how do you feel about going to school full time, like, first psychology, doing all that, and then transitioning out? Do you feel like psychology still plays a part in what you're doing now?
Yeah.
And, like,
100%.
Okay.
It does, because it's like a therapy session for, you know, the women that do come and see me. Yeah. They're there venting to me, or we're just talking about our day-to-day lives, and it's just, you know, it's a therapy session not only for them but for me too. So I feel like psychology plays a daily role in my life to this day. So I 100% don't regret getting my degree. It was hard because college is not for everybody. I think it wasn't for me either, but I pushed through and I did it, but I don't regret it.
Right. You happy with where you ended up in that choice?
Yes.
Like, and it all pulls together, and I feel like that's the important thing. Like, no matter how long it takes you to get to that end goal, you're learning along the way, doing your best along the way. And when you were doing psychology, you had told me you were working with children, right? Like, with autism, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I did in-home therapy, and I worked with the children and the families as well. So it was really hard because, you know, you're coming into someone's home and like not necessarily telling them what to do, but almost telling them what to do, you know what I mean? So it can get uncomfortable, but you know, after being with certain families for so long, you do get attached, but it wasn't what I was passionate about, you know? I knew in my soul, like, this is not what I was supposed to do. So
Yeah.
it took time, but everything
Worked out.
worked out.
But I like when we were talking earlier how you were saying like even though you didn't fully love it, you had hard days, you still put forth like 100% effort.
Yes.
You still learned what you could, took that away from it.
Yes.
And then I mean giving back to the community in a way too. So with your new business, do you see any connection with like how your business connects with community as well? And
Yes, because I learned how to be like patient
Yeah.
with people. Like more, I didn't think I was a patient person until I
Yeah.
started being a therapist. Because
Right.
you know, like it takes a lot of you. So I feel like it plays a role in both because there's days that clients that I have are having bad days, and you
Right.
just have to like. You have to be patient with them where someone's
Right.
like, you know, asking for an appointment or something and they're like, oh, I need this time and this and that. They're very demanding. You just got to be like, okay,
Yeah.
give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna handle this, you know, the right way, but I think it does.
Do you have that the customer is always right mentality? Or can
I have to.
Yeah.
I've been in customer service since I've been working since I was 17,
Oh,
and
okay.
then
So it's
being a
nothing new.
therapist, so this is nothing new.
Right, exactly. Awesome. So I did want to talk about too, like makeup techniques and stuff. So I'm not like an expert in makeup or anything, but I know there are some things I'm sure that you've learned, like through watching YouTube, going to school for, actively doing it. Tips you would give to aspiring makeup artists, or maybe you know people who just want to do their makeup at home and be better at it.
Yeah. I will definitely say patience. Patience is key for any technique that you're learning. Practice as well. Just keep practicing. You're not going to get it the first try, not the second. It might take you 100 times, but you'll get it. Just you really want to take your time with it. Blending is everything.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
blend. And then symmetry, you want to, you know, focus on that as well. You want things to look the same on both sides of the face. That's very important.
Yeah, you don't want one eyelash going
Yeah,
exactly. I've definitely seen it.
Or brows, even, you know, one thing is in the other.
Yeah.
You definitely, that's a big thing too. Brows and lashes, like you can have just the most simple, you know, foundation routine. But if you have your brows and your lashes down, like you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like actual like little brow mats that you can buy like for beginners because it's so hard. Yeah, I've done brows for so long that I'm just like, and they're like, how are you doing that? Like, how are you getting them so equal? I'm just like, I don't know. It's like I just see it.
You see it
you know
now.
What I mean? Because it's so easy in the beginning.
I don't want you to look at my eyebrows now.
Oh, you're fine. No, but that was a hard thing in the beginning, but once you get it down, you're just like, okay, cool, this is
right.
You know the points of your face, and that's pretty much it.
You work from there, and there is a little bit. I mean, because you need to understand measurements to some capacity.
Yes. So when it comes to brows, I'll give you a little tip. So you start like the beginning of your brows should start at the inner corner of your eyes. So that's like point 1. The middle where your arches usually lines up with like your nose. So you take your nose and it's like diagonal.
Okay.
Yes, and that's where your arch is. And then the end of your brow should end at the end of your eye.
Oh,
pretty much.
Gotcha.
That's the map.
So when I get my ruler and start.
Pretty much.
All right, awesome. And I know, so how about like, okay, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right.
You are right-handed, okay. Do you ever feel like it's hard to do certain things like on your face because you're like, do you ever try to do stuff with your left hand? Never. Right.
I don't think I've ever did things with my left hand.
Right, ever.
But I will say like there's always like one side of the face that's easier than the other.
Right, I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, for me I think it's probably, my right. Maybe because I am right-handed it is a little easier.
And I know you were telling me about like just like how someone's skin is, so like dry versus
so this is another big tip that I learned. Like no one really, I mean skincare, I learned that a lot when I was working at Sephora because that was a big thing. We had to prep the skin for skincare, so and it's funny because so many people, like when I ask that question, they're so confused on like, what do you mean? Like I'm like, what's your skin type? And they're like, huh? Because nobody asks that. People just want to slap on makeup and it looks beautiful, but they don't understand that it's ruining their face. Like, you know, people have bigger pores and this and that. It's because of the products you're using.
Right.
You really want to take care of your skin because your skin's not gonna, your skin can only look as good as how good as you take care of it.
Right.
So like if you have acne and things like that and you just slap on foundation, you're still gonna see that through. There's no amount of foundation that can like cover the texture of that, you know? So you really wanna like take care of your skin. If you know, I would recommend going to Sephora, Ulta, or anything like that where they can tell you what products specifically work for you. And if you don't even want to do that, honestly, like Sephora will have what skin types are good for each product, things like that. So it's really easy to navigate.
Nice.
And you can just buy product yourself.
Right.
And another thing that people don't know, like you can get samples. Like don't fit, because skincare is not cheap. You don't want to get skincare at CVS. You know what I mean? Because that stuff, like the ingredients are trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get what you paid for. So you really want to take care of your skin, and you can get samples. So say you want to buy a product and it's too expensive, and you're like, I want to try it out before I commit to it. You can definitely do that. So that's nice. But yeah, you definitely, when I do makeup, I love to ask that question because, for instance, you want to use the right primer for you, and you want to use the right foundation. If someone is oily, you do not want to use a dewy foundation. It's going to make them more oily.
Right.
If you're really dry, because I'm dry in the winter, if I put a matte foundation, like Fenty matte foundation, everyone loves. I tried that and I was like, oh my god, it looked so dry. Like I needed a glass of water.
Right. So you had to
so
put some oil on over it.
Yes, it's like in that case, and there's different ways to you know, to make things look good. So like I was telling you earlier, because I've taken so many clients, I've taken clients, you know, for weddings and things like that. I had to think on the fly. So there's certain things that I didn't have for a specific client. Like I may have your skin color, like foundation, but it's not in, you're oily, right? Let's just say you're oily, but I only have dewy. So I would use a matte primer on you and bake you for like ever. So then that way your makeup will last and you won't look as oily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's just ways to do it.
And that's an awesome tip, because when you're constantly like on the move, and I'm sure you've done a bunch of different events and like weddings and stuff, it's like you can't say that you don't have it.
Girl, you will look crazy. I just had a wedding this weekend and I forgot my makeup wipes, and like a little bit of mascara like was on her like her under eye area. So a trick too to do, like let the mascara dry, and then with the clean like spoolie, you literally flick it off. And it'll come right off.
Oh, really?
Some people want to just like take it off really quick while it's wet, and that ruins the makeup. Just let it dry.
Oh,
right
wow.
off. Yeah.
That's a good tip. I like that. What would you say your top 5 makeup brands are?
Top 5 makeup brands. That's a good question.
And I put you on the spot there. She's
okay.
like 5.
I gotta think about that. Okay, Huda Beauty. I love her products. Anastasia.
Okay.
Beverly Hills. That's a really good one.
Let's hear good stuff about that one.
Yeah, that's a really good one. What else? Dang, now I'm like going through Sephora.
Like, I know.
What brand is good? I like Too Faced as well.
Okay.
I love their foundations, concealers. Fenty's really good as well. And that's 4, right?
Yeah, that's 4.
Okay, that's 4. One more. Let's see. Ooh, that's a hard one. I would say...
It's like when I ask people like their top favorite rappers.
I know, right? And it's like you feel judged if you say the wrong answer. Like, maybe I would say Makeup Forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you say, like, okay, for one skincare brand that you would say, like, is good that you remember from Sephora, like, actually just taking care of your skin, washing your face type stuff?
So I have normal to dry skin, so I need things that are going to hydrate my face. So it's a little bit more pricey, but I swear, like, Tatcha, have you ever heard?
Tatcha?
Yes.
I have heard of Tatcha.
Like the Korean Asian skincare, they know what they're doing.
Yes.
What skincare?
What, do you know Hiram?
No, I don't.
You gotta watch Hiram on YouTube.
Oh, it's YouTube.
You guys gotta watch Hiram on YouTube. He talks about different skincare brands, and he breaks them down, like, everything. And I think that's where I heard projects. I haven't tried it myself, but that's good to know. So that's good for,
but I'm telling you, it's so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
And I feel like it's worth it though. Like your skin is so important.
And that's the thing. And SPF, guys, please. I don't care.
Yes.
Like, especially being Hispanic, like Hispanic people don't think they have to wear SPF. So they have to be like, I'm never gonna burn them. Like, no, but you are. And you need, and the older you get, the more sensitive your skin gets to the sun. So like SPF everywhere, body, face, it's so important.
Yeah. And I feel like the reason that we don't think about that sometimes though is because like, I don't know, it's like not common like in our families that people use SPF.
Yes. But even skincare. Like my mom, she like, when I started working at Sephora, I started introducing her, new thing like a serum, do this, do that, because when you get older, your turnaround for your cells, they slow down. So that's why you start to look older. And if you don't take care of it, you're gonna look even older. So with different things like that, like my mom didn't really, like she would wash her face and that was it.
Right.
But
just like soap and water and
not even, like she'll have like cleansers, but it was just like from CVS, Walgreens, like not good quality stuff, so it wasn't doing anything beneficial for her. So when I actually, taught her specific things like this is how you use this is what this is for, like it's so, it benefits you. Like skincare, I don't care, as soon as you're in your teens, you should start skincare because that, puberty starts to happen and it, even you want to slow it down. You want to look young.
Exactly. Start right now. 12. Let's hang on to this as long as we can.
People even think that, I look like, even for me in high school, I didn't wash my face. Like, honestly, I know that sounds crazy, but I wash my face maybe like once a month. With a mask or like a cleanser, like soap and water. Yeah, but like that's not real.
But actually, I'm
talking about like
with
the cleanser, moisturizer. I didn't do that until I got into college and learned. So
my dad has like he uses a Buff Puff.
What is that?
I don't know. It's like a scrub thing. This is I'm telling you, anything I learned from skincare up until I was probably like 18 came from my dad because he's like a freak about his skin.
Yeah.
So he used like a scrubbing pad to buff his skin. He would use witch hazel.
That's actually good.
I've heard good. Okay, so witch hazel. Okay, so you sign off on witch hazel.
Yeah, but like to a certain extent, you don't want to use it every day. You would like witch hazel is almost like a toner. You want to do a toner every day because that's gonna balance your pH and it's gonna get rid of any other even if you don't wear makeup, it just gets rid of all the stuff that clogs your pores.
You're walking around for the day.
Pollution.
So you should use that every day.
100%. The top 3 things for skincare is cleanser, toner, and moisturizer.
Nice. So every day. That's awesome.
Every day.
And I was actually, there's this girl, she came out with is like black girl sunscreen, and I was like super excited because I was like, there are so many women of color in general who just don't want to wear sunscreen. So I'm like, finally someone came out and was like, nah, for you.
Yeah,
use this.
Which is perfect because I don't know if you noticed, but I had a Sweet 16, right? And the makeup artist that did my makeup had, back in the day when you would take pictures, you would get the white cast. It was the SPF and the foundation. So every picture I was like white. My face was white, but my body's tan. So it looks crazy. So that's actually really nice that she does that.
Right, and makes it for exactly. That doesn't give you that cast.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Yes, exactly. Awesome. Where can people find you if they want to hear more about your services?
So on Facebook, Instagram, it's Glam Studio by Malerie. And then we have our own website as well. It's glamstudiobymallory.com. You can check us out on Google too. You just Google us and we'll pop up. And so you can just book an appointment there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. And thank you all for listening. This has been C.HR with Ariaunstewart. And this show is sponsored by the Association of Black Business and Professionals, where you can come together and network with other people in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much.